Hello everybody and welcome back to the SOOP Duel Series. Stork versus SCSL today, with SCSL spawning in the top right, Stork down here in the bottom right. We're on Radeon for our first game. A best of 7 between these two for $500. Big shout out to everybody who's here in the live stream chat. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, or making time to get over here and watch live. It's going to help us to continue this series into the future. And we still don't have any information about any sort of gem skull or anything like that coming up, but we do know that SOOP wants more live viewers, so that's what we're focusing on for the time being. Now, Stork gets over here. Immediately, he's going to scout out sSak and force this extra SCV off the line. In fact, another SCV is going to come down here so that he can swap off and make sure that this SCV doesn't die. Doing a pretty good job of headbutting that probe and getting in range of actually attacking that. Probe really wants to get some more damage on that SCV, but does bail out as the Marine is about to pop. Factory is going to be thrown down here in a moment. Oh, a little bit late on that factory, actually. Look at this. He scouts the main. He sees no range. Is he going to just build a CC now? Interesting. So sSak is a bit of a mind gamer. This guy has some sneaky builds, and he's very good at surprising his opponents. We saw that in the ASL. I won't give any more spoilers, but this guy is a sneaky boy. He has some very interesting ideas about how to play Terran. And he should be a good match for Stork, honestly. Stork is similar. Very good at playing a series. Has a lot of game knowledge. Not as mechanically gifted as some of these other guys, but is still incredibly scary once he puts his plans together. And so, sSak gonna throw down this CC before his factory, but still will have a pretty quick factory since he did open gas. It's not like Stork can come across the map and punish his bunker. He will have a tank out here pretty soon. But what will his follow-up be after this? Because Stork is sSak is the type of guy who likes to take control in basically every matchup. He's going to be the aggressor. He's going to be the guy who's deciding the pace of most of these games. Not your kind of light style of player where he sits back and tries to get into a good macro position. He's not a sharp either who really relies on vulture run-bys and vulture control to get his damage done. sSak is going to look for an opening, and he will follow up with a second factory. I was actually expecting maybe a starport here, but he's doing nothing with that add-on, and a very quick armory here in the natural. Now, we may end up seeing him go for Goliaths to try and stop this initial Reaver harassment from coming in and dealing any damage. But the timing on Charon boosters, even if he starts it now, is probably going to be a little bit late. Charon boosters is the longest upgrade, I believe, in the entire game, actually. Wait, what's that building right below the armory? Is that a second armory? I doubt it, but I wouldn't put it past sSak, honestly. This guy is pretty crazy. There's a first turret. Or no, that's a supply depot there. I don't have an eBay yet. So he may be still going for those Goliaths. The double armory style has kind of fallen out of favor. I really want to get a shot of that natural to see if it is indeed double armory before I talk about it too much, but it's been making a comeback. Double armory style has been making a comeback. The really quick 2-2 upgrades was extremely popular for many, many years, and it only recently sort of fell by the wayside because of Speed Shuttle Templar style. The third factory is on the way now. No, it's a academy just below that armory. And with a third factory and a fourth factory coming online, this could be any number of things. This could be a timing attack. It also could be just a push for the third base. Here comes that shuttle now. The Goliaths are there. The Goliaths are ready. Can he catch this? Okay, he's going to get right in range of that. He doesn't get any shots on the shuttle. Instead, taking a couple of shots at the Reaver. Now, the Reaver is going to get this kill on the tank. 100%. That tank goes down. Now he's got another opportunity to fire with the Reaver, but the Goliaths are pulled back expertly, keeping those alive very importantly right now. These tanks are not in range to actually hit this Reaver, and now Dragoons are at the front, killing the bunker with nothing inside of it. The Marines were pulled back. Can he actually kill this Reaver? Oh, he gets the shuttle with the Marines. The shuttle goes down. The tanks go down the ramp, though. What is this? Tank went down the ramp there? That's crazy. Definitely should have been sieged up there on the high ground. He actually does siege, and it reveals the tank, and he gets the shots he needs. Not enough miss shots there for SOOP to keep that tank alive, and so he will lose 2 tanks. This is already pretty bad, honestly, for SOOP. Stork did lose the Reaver, but he got quite a bit of damage done. Broke into that natural behind this. Carrier play. This is exactly what we expect out of Stork, but SOOP, he scans, gets rid of the observer. He hasn't spotted this yet, but he's got a lot of factories coming up. He has the correct build to punish this. He has the option, at least, to attempt to punish this. He gets the scan, he hits it. There it is. The carriers have been revealed. That godlike vision of the Terran with the scanners. Gonna reveal everything. And now SOOP, he's just going to go across the map. No two ways about it. Put his entire army together. Oh gosh, he lost the barracks. That's right. He lost the barracks. That means he can't build any more factories. That hurts a lot, actually. I mean, he still does have 5 factories, but he'd like to add more potentially. And he just can't with the missing barracks. So he's going to have to reproduce that. And so he shoves forward here, takes out the observers. Tanks are going to siege up. Now Stork has to back away. He has a Reaver coming out in this shuttle. That'll be used for the delay tactics. He needs to delay at least until these first 2 carriers have their interceptors. That's when they can start being a little bit, at least slightly useful. Now, before then, they are completely dead weight. Going after this shuttle is huge. Can he actually get that? No. Shuttle backs away. If he picked off that shuttle right now, it might have just been completely over for Stork, but for the time being, he still has a very good chance in this game. He's going to rotate around this army, try to cut off reinforcements. SOOP not going to let that happen easily, though. Moving into position to lay mines here on the flank. As SOOP gets closer and closer towards this natural. He still has some way to go. It's not very close just yet. Stork is doing a pretty good job of delaying this. He's adding on more gateways. He probably doesn't have Zealot speed at the moment. And that's really an essential part of this defense. I'd love to see Stork get in the rally point. Really should try to get in this rally point. He's moved way over to the top left, which is a bit surprising. Going for another couple of shots. He kills a couple of Goliaths there. The army of Stork is still way over to the left-hand side. He really does need to get in this rally point. Loses the Reaver here in the rally. All right. Probes need to be pulled. He is going to pull those, but I think they're actually going to be in range of these tanks once they are finally pulled. That's a lot of Dragoons on the flank, which is amazing. Going to pull the probes back with his shuttle. Pretty neat little move there from Stork to keep as many of these alive as possible. You can see SOC moving around the traditional rally point. Is going to go through the middle of the map to try and reinforce this. Dragoon's coming from behind. He's going to actually crush this army here, finding an angle where the mines are not defending, and SOC's army has been completely destroyed. He's got a couple of Goliaths over here, but the carriers are now out. He can bring the army to bear. Along with these carriers, he should be able to wipe this. Gonna pull back all of the probes for the time being. Trying to keep as many of those alive as possible. Big mine connection on that Zealot, but it clears out so many of the mines. Now he's gonna get this mine to connect. No, not quite. Sending in the Dragoons just to bait the mine. That mine will not connect. Oh my gosh. That mine just won't blow up. There it is. Finally, it does explode, but it was quite late, and most of the army is gone. 8 kills on that one tank, killing off so many probes. And so Stork's economy has been ravaged. However, SOC still sitting here on 2 bases, with a 3rd base finally being made. Has he done enough damage to the overall economy here of Stork, or will he get overwhelmed by carriers as that number continues to grow? Moving forward for possibly another attack coming up here. Seems a little bit ill-advised, but if he wants to just throw the Dragoons away, it might end up working out in his favor. 2 more carriers should be popping out here in a moment. Stork getting up to that 4 count is where it becomes very scary. Cannon up there on the high ground is nice. Probes are going to be transferred here. And we'll try to escort those over. Looks like he's going to be able to get this base up and fully mining as SOC attempts to take a base over in the top left. This is a great play from SOC. That base should not be allowed to stand, but Stork is in a scrappy game. He's in a scrappy position. He might not be able to spare the resources to go up there and check. He might be dead set on preventing this 3rd base from going up from SOC and not even realize that there's a hidden base over there in the top left. Also, even if he finds out about it, sending the carriers all the way up to the top left would open a counterattack possibility for SOC. So, looks like the carriers are going to head up here towards this 3rd base. As I said, counterattack possibility has just been opened. SOC is going to move towards bottom center and set up his tanks in a very good position here. Hard to break. And force the carriers to retreat. Stork bringing everything back right now. That's quite a few Goliaths. Actually, going on a counterattack seems a little bit crazy. A bunch of SCVs just got transferred over there to top left, so SOC is still going to have an income. Can Stork hit this counterattack and actually make it work? A lot of probes are going down right now. He's going to drop way down in his overall probe count. Diving in here towards this natural. Army is coming back for SOC, trying to defend the natural. Looks like he is going to be able to target down some of these tanks. Trying to get some shots on these carriers, but the overall carrier micro, as usual from Stork, is next level. He is so good at keeping those carriers out of harm's way and getting the maximum value out of them. Now, he did just let all of the interceptors come back, and he lost a carrier. I think I just heard that. No, he's still got 4, right? I thought I heard the sound of a carrier going down there, but that couldn't have been it. Maybe there was a carrier coming up from the south that just got targeted down in the rally point. I'm not sure about that, though. I didn't get it on screen. Still, these carriers are running over everything at SOC's rally point. Absolutely deleting his forces, and there it is. SOC GG's as Stork, with the counterattack, busts through. Game number 1, as expected from Stork, heavily relying on carriers. Game number 2 with Stork down here in the bottom right. Of course, SOC down here in the bottom left, and with $500 on the line. These two are going to be playing their hearts out, as we saw in that last game. SOOP tried some things. He put Stork to the test there. That push was looking a bit scary. Stork nearly lost all of his probes at the natural and lost everything at the third. All those probes went down. All that economy was destroyed. But still, his prowess with carrier cannot be denied. Very hard to take Stork down once he's got about 4 carriers out. He is really good at maneuvering those around the map and excellent with his tactical gameplay. I think most other Protoss players would have pulled back to save the third base. But Stork looked at the game state and he thought, no, I'm just going to go ahead and do this counterattack. There's probably not enough at this natural to block me. And so he just gets in there and does the damage, pushes Stork out of the game, getting on top of those rally points. Stork handled that pretty darn well, but SOOP did miss a few beats in his overall macro. Now, he's going to be getting into his zone here, going into game number 2. I hope he can hit those beats a little bit better and really give Stork a run for his money. In the live poll we had at the beginning of this series, 74% of you thought that Stork would end up winning. And he's already got 1 game under his belt. Nice snipe there on the SCV. We didn't get a click on that to see how low it was, but it was taking a lot of damage. Didn't expect that to die, but Stork also loses his probe. So slight tunnel vision there. Would like to get that probe out and just keep it alive, but trading 1 for 1, not the worst thing. He'll definitely be okay with that. Stork trying to get the moving shot on this SCV, but good ring around the rosy there on the barracks, just keeping that alive. Once again, SOOP opening gas, but going into a CC. Again, this is not something we see very often Terran players doing, but here's SOOP twice in a row playing this kind of sneaky build. It's reactionary based, it seems, based on what Stork is doing. You can see he gets in there and sees the robo start. So he sees it's no range into robo and is ultimately going to react by building only 1 marine. 1 marine and a bunker. Get that CC down as soon as possible, and then get the factory afterwards with the gas that's been banked. Now, will he go into a starport here? Because he did see the observer. One of the... Okay, he pokes in there. He sees the command center. One of the best ways to deal with a very quick robo... Oh, wait. Okay, what was the building before? He canceled whatever that was. Maybe he threw down Citadel and then canceled after SOOP saw it. I assumed it was robo because we didn't get a click on it. But it appears to be a cancel into robo, so you know, maybe instead we're gonna... Oh, nice dodge there. Really good dodge. Dude, SOOP saw that, immediately got out of the way. These Dragoons taking a lot of damage from that 1 Marine, but you can see it doesn't pile up too fast. Just 1 Marine in the bunker. Those Dragoons can stand in that field of fire for quite some time. He wanted to snipe the SCV, but SOOP just too quick. Even dodged the first shot from those Dragoons, immediately jumping into the bunker. Keeps that alive. And really, Stork, you know, he could run by with the Dragoons. That one Marine in the bunker just tickling away at them. There's a possibility he could have run by, but The SCVs are just a little bit too powerful. If you run into the mineral line, the SCVs will surround and kill. Even with only one Marine firing, it's not going to work out in your favor. So I kind of like what SOC did there. Or excuse me, Stork did there. Just running forward, seeing if he could snipe an SCV, taking the damage from the one Marine, and trying to force a kill. But backing away is the right call. He comes forward with the range just to poke the bunker a little bit. Doesn't really go his way. Now there are a bunch of turrets set up, so SOC is prepared just in case there is in fact a DT coming. Oof, that is painful, guys. That is really painful. First observer flies directly in and dies to a turret. This is some really sad play from Stork, unfortunately. You can't be losing that first observer. Like, this is a really bad situation for him. He does have another couple of observers out. In fact, he hasn't really built any Reavers just yet, relying only on Dragoons for this defense. It's actually going to work out quite well. He got a very fast third base down, and he's got quite a few Dragoons out here. He's already killed a tank. This is a nice defense, honestly. I'm not sure what he was doing as the observer was flying in that allowed him to lose that, but the defense of this attack has really made up for those missteps. Oh, these two vultures. Oh, Stork not in the natural. Ooh, that's bad. Reaver is going to pop out here soon. If he puts down mines right next to the Robo, he could actually get some damage there. A couple of probes go down, but this is actually good handling of the run by as well. Maybe a kill or two on that vulture there, laying down some mines. It's an interesting decision from Stork, honestly, right? Stork looks like he built a citadel, canceled it, went for a Robo, and then immediately threw down observatory and third base. I don't know what he just canceled there in his main as well. He put down something. Maybe an extra forge, thinking that he didn't have one. An 8-minute fourth, but this is an 8-minute third. Very quick third here for SOC as well. Realizing that Stork really wants to play a macro game, and he's going to set up this really strong position. See, this is what happens when you don't have that observer in front of your opponent's base. Stork didn't see this move up to the high ground at all. He knew nothing about it. He was busy defending those vulture attacks. And so now SOC just has a really strong high ground position. I don't think you can break this here. This is a little bit too powerful. SOC set up this third very, very quickly. And now Stork just kind of has to live with it. He's going to drop a Zealot on top of this tank. Can he get a big Reaver shot? Ooh, okay. Nice shot there as well. Dropping these. Oh my god, so much damage. Wow. He does lose the Reaver, but that was some insane damage. So he dropped the Zealot. He tried to drop it in the mineral line, but it actually dropped to the left of the tank. It baited the fire into the tank, killed the tank. Then he dropped the Reaver, got a shot off. Then he dropped the Zealot again, and the tank fire, splash damage, absolutely destroying that mineral line. So really, really well done. Did super good damage to SOC's early game of economy, but you know what? He's going to end up losing quite a few probes here too. I don't think nearly enough to make up for what Stork has done. Stork has really thrown a wrench into SOC's game. He has seriously messed him up. 46 workers, even though he has this super quick third base, can't really make too much of use of that, really. Right? He's barely got enough to fully saturate 2 bases. Now, SCVs mine a bit better when you have less SCVs per patch, of course. So he should be able to make up this deficit pretty quickly, and also he's got 3 CCs now, so he can start to really remake those SCVs, but I don't see him making SCVs. At least at the moment. Look at this, 70 probes already. Dude, Stork might just completely outmass SOC in this game. Like, we might see a situation... Oh, gosh. Walking into mines there. That's unfortunate. Oh, we're going to see a possible attack here from SOC. As long as Stork has the gateways that he needs, and he doesn't keep walking to mines like this, he should be okay. Let's see how many speed shuttles he has. I imagine he's got like 3, 4. Okay, he's got 2. 2 speed shuttles setting up here along this wall. Pretty nasty. That's a lot of Goliaths as well, by the way. Wow. A huge number of Goliaths in this force. That's not going to help very much against the Zealot Dragoon, but it should help him to stop these drops from really hurting him. Oh, the high ground is actually pretty annoying right now. Ooh, okay. He gets a Zealot off. But that's about it. And Stork actually going for the counter attack is kind of crazy. Gonna drop some Zealots on top of these tanks, but there's no siege tanks. Okay, there was some siege fire, some splash damage. This counter is going to do so much damage. Stork getting right in here. Zealots are going to run up the ramp first, and that's a lot of vultures up there on the high ground, so he actually will trade pretty well against those. But the Dragoons are still here, still dealing damage. Stork is going to make DTs and just keep filtering them out. He could target down the... yeah, he could absolutely target down all the comsats at the natural and the third, possibly. Main base, I don't think he can get onto that comsat, but maybe he can clear this out with Dark Templar. It's getting to be a pretty wacky game. I think he could just clear this... CC, or at least deal a lot of damage here. No. Stork taps out. Oh, a rough loss here for Stork. He had such a big macro advantage. Look at how few SCVs are left. 30 SCVs at the end of this game from SOC. I thought we were fully gonna see Stork outmass and outpower SOC in this game, but he got rolled over before he fully came online. A pretty good timing attack there from SOC. The damage in his third base, I think he felt he couldn't recover from a situation like that. If he just sat back and tried to take a fourth and, you know, power up, I think he was going to fall too far behind, and maybe he agreed with me there. Just needed to go for the attack full on, hit that natural. He saw Stork, lost some Dragoons out on the map right before that moment, so he knew that the forces weren't going to be that strong. He had a great count of Goliaths as well. Was able to shoot down all the shuttles as they were flying in. You usually don't see that many Goliaths made with a push like that. SOC really has a unique style. Building something like 8 Goliaths in order to shoot down shuttles right as they're coming in. Really shut down that air power of Stork, and Stork just wasn't able to break it. Stork versus SOC. Going into our third game, all tied up in the series. That's what we like to see. I said it from the beginning, I really do believe this is a good matchup for these two players. Honestly, I don't mind watching Starcraft at pretty much every level. There's something to be learned and something to be excited about. As long as the players are pretty evenly matched, then I find it to be a lot of fun. I know there's some of you out there who only want to see the best of the best play, you know. SOC or sorry, Soul Key, Snow, and Hero. The only players you want to tune into, but honestly, even at some of the lower ranks, And I'm not saying that Stork and sSak are lower rank, but you can watch stuff like BSL and foreign tournaments, and also get a lot of enjoyment out of that, as long as the players are close in skill. This game is a blast. As a viewer, there's nothing better. And so, this game is going to continue to bring amazing, amazing people in as viewers over the years. Bringing people back to Broodwar. I actually heard the news today that Starcraft 2 took a big hit now that the ESL has been discontinued. They're not going to be supporting Starcraft anymore. Starcraft 2. I thought it was really noble of them to take over after Blizzard dropped their support for Starcraft 2, but looks like they weren't able to continue that indefinitely. And so it's just a reminder of how important it is to support the impermanence of any of these games. Is on the top of my mind today. We're just very lucky to have such a loyal fan base, and it's for a good reason. This is a beautiful, beautiful game. Finally, sSak actually built his factory before CC. However, Stork is actually going to opt for a Nexus first this game. And he's rolled the dice. Double sixes. He's going to get a cross-map situation. One barracks, or not one barracks, excuse me, one gateway directly into a simulator's, and then cybernetics core. He doesn't even have to build a forge. No second gateway off the bat either, so he is feeling great right now. He was able to skip second pylon too, just using the Nexus to support his production. Everything has gone perfectly so far for Stork, and sSak. He's got to be looking at this with a bit of frustration. And nothing he can really do except try to get a little cheeky. Starport in his base. Finally going to go for a bit of drop play. We like to see it. He did go for about the quickest vulture that you can get and sent it across the map. I don't know if it got any damage because we weren't watching. But the vulture was pushed back. And yeah, you don't want to lose that first vulture. So he's going to loop around, try to come back towards the natural, potentially. What do we got here in the main? A robo. I expect it'll just be for that eventual... Oh. Vulture's actually in the natural again. Kind of misses out on dealing any damage. I expect that we'll see a, 3-gate observer play and very quick third. Oh my gosh. 5-minute third, guys. 5-minute third is insanely fast. Stork, if he can get away with this, the amount of economy he's going to have over sSak is absolutely insane. And so sSak cannot allow this to stand. He cannot allow Stork to get away with this unpunished. Now, he does have that drop. He's going to be looking for some damage somewhere, but will Stork even be able to defend everything? He's going to be spread extremely thin. He does have, I think it's 3-gate, or was it just 2 in the main base? With only 2-gate, it's going to be really tough. With 3, you can absolutely do it. Oh, where's that dropship going? That's the wrong direction, sSak. Got to get in there. Drop. Oh, wow. The drop defense is completely set up here for Stork. Oh, my goodness. This is so good. Yeah, he's going to see this. Immediate response here. Gonna start to gun down these vultures. He gets one immediately. Gonna target down the mines now. He's opened up the pathway to get to this defense. Of course, there are still mines on the ramp in that, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to clear everything, but he should be okay here. 3 kills on this vulture. You know, 2 or 3 kills on the other vulture. Okay, this vulture down here is gonna get quite a few. 3 here. So overall, a very successful drop, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to even out the early advantages for Stork. He's already got 3 nexuses. Well, the worker count is even. So you got to give it up for SOC, even with the excellent drop defense. Oh, close there. Almost gets something with that vulture. Does get a few probe kills. But SOC is going to have to return at the end of the day. He's got a 2-worker advantage. But again, Stork with such an early 3rd base. How is this going to play out? SOC has not been making many tanks during this time. He's been really slowly adding on those tanks. He's finally going to start making factories. He's been making nothing but vultures. He's only now going to start adding on that core of the Terran army. We have a Stargate on the way. Potential for a carrier's transition. 3 base immediately into carrier is so good. This 3rd base is so quick. If he can actually get this online, it's going to be crazy good for Stork. Couple tanks here on the low ground. Gonna try and kill, at very least, one of these pylons. Very annoying for Stork. He's going to have to move into position to try and deal with that. He's actually just going to send the shuttle forth. This could be an easy cleanup. Okay, 4 Zealots. I thought there was going to be maybe a Reaver in there, but with just the Zealots. Oh, he gets the pylon. Just barely gets the pylon there. Pretty annoying. Of course, he could just remake that pylon. Not a big deal for Stork, but it is a little bit annoying to have to deal with that. SOC being very tricky with the way he's played this game. You know, those were his first 2 tanks. He loaded them up into the dropship. He's looking for any little advantage, anything he can eke out to deal damage to Stork, to just slow him down by the most minuscule amount, so that he can find his way back into this game, because the overall economic advantage of just having Nexus first into 3 base so quickly, it's incredibly difficult to overcome. I know I've said it a few times, but oh my god, where are these Dragoons going? Ah, Dragoons, get down there. Stork deciding to leave his main base and stop defending drops at kind of an unfortunate time there. He will get back and kill off that vulture, but he's lost a few more probes. Now you can see the probe advantage is pretty big for Stork. It would have been so much worse had SOC not got in with those drops earlier. He's actually made it a pretty playable game with all of that drop harass. There's a potential here with this upcoming attack that maybe SOC could break through. Stork is in the middle of a carrier transition, and so he's not ready for a push like this. He is going to get around this army. He sees it coming with the observer on the left there. He sees where the tanks are. They're actually going to come up onto this high ground. Well, the pylon was not rebuilt, which is pretty crazy. These tanks are going to get right up here, but a counterattack is coming. Oh gosh, what does SOC have in his natural, guys? I don't think it's very much. The counterattack is gonna go right up this ramp. Yeah, a bunch of Dragoons get up here on the high ground. He's gonna start lifting these Dragoons up here and dropping them on the high ground, helping him to clear the tanks and Dragoons and, or excuse me, Goliaths that are popping out here. SCVs are going down en masse. That Zealot helping out so much to clear these annoying SCVs that are just blocking everything out. Zealot's going to be dropped on top of this. Dragoon's coming down the ramp. SOC is trying to get as much damage done as he can, but Stork, his rallies are so much stronger than the rallies of SOC. If he goes up this ramp and gets on top of the factories, I think that's all she wrote. Really no way to recover from there. He will lose all these Dragoons in the natural. He's still got a cannon, though. And he's got rallies. Zealot rallies can clear this. And there it is. SOC taps out a great counterattack by Stork. SOC just overcommitting a little bit too much to that push. He definitely wanted to shut down the carrier transition, but he left himself wide open back at home. These two guys, honestly, both of them are so good. They both know exactly what the other one is up to. And the counterplay back and forth, very strong. And it's hard to overstate how difficult it is doing exactly what they're doing, to see the opponent's view, to know what the opponent is up to without full information of what they're doing. To be able to get just a small glimpse of their build and infer exactly what you can get away with. I think Stork did an awesome job of that this last game. He saw the army, and he was like, all right, you have nothing in your natural. I know exactly what to do here. You know, SOC saw the army of Stork, and he thought, you're definitely going to try and stop me from taking that, from killing your third. You're going to try and engage this army, but he was dead wrong. He didn't have the mines in his own natural. Didn't have his rallies set to the high ground so that he could defend properly. And Stork managed to get up there on top of the factories and end that one quickly. These two guys very evenly matched. But only one of them can take home the bread here today. Factory gets started a little bit late there on that factory. What was that, 233? 232? Some good harassment here by Stork, trying to slow things down with that initial probe. Now going to bring in the Zealot as well. The Marine is kind of marooned out here on the map. And there's only going to be one Marine back at home to help defend this. He is going to bring the first Marine back, but he's going to lose this SCV. He does, and that's going to slow down the factory even more. Oh boy. This is not looking good for SOC. Can he pull it together here? Okay, good dodge there with the Marines. Going to pull back right at the perfect time. Let's keep those... oh, is he going to lose this SCV? Oh, great dive in. But an even better catch there. Did you guys see that? He was building the factory with one SCV. He canceled the build on the SCV and hopped into the Vespian Geyser to try and escape. But Stork moved to the south and caught the SCV as it popped out of the geyser. Some really high-level Starcraft, guys. Some really high-level early-game micro and decision-making we're seeing out of these two. But Stork consistently coming out on top. Making some great moves. That's a lot of Marines now. And it looks like some sort of push is on the way. Not going to bring Marines and SCVs. This is very all-in. Look at how few workers are left back at home when SOC tries to make this attack. Gonna utilize this high ground here. Oh, trying to target down one of the low-health Marines. Gonna try and target down that low-health Dragoon. Marines are actually getting quite a bit of good damage on this before the SCVs arrive. Dragoon's just going to pull back, all the way back. His range upgrade is on the way. No bunker has been started yet. Probes are going to be pulled here. He really wants to save this. Can he actually keep it alive? Going after the SCV. He does kill the SCV. This bunker might actually be denied. Dragoon's stuck out here on the outside, but he kills the bunker and drives it back. One Dragoon on the top has died. Second Dragoon on the top has died now. Are there any more Dragoons being made in the main, or is this the only gateway that Stork has? There might be a gate in there, but maybe it's not done. Oh, he's jumping on top of these SCVs. The probes are doing a great job, actually, killing off a lot of the SCVs here. But now that the bunker is done, it is over. SOC takes this game away with a very all-in bust on this Nexus. Stork getting a little bit too greedy after all the damage he did initially. He could have expected maybe SOC would get desperate. And indeed he does. He pulls the boys and busts it open. Here we are, game number 5, Stork versus SOC. It's all tied up. This guy taking some charge in that last game. But things were going great for Stork up until that moment. Was doing an awesome job with those early Zealots and Probe. Managing to get 2 or 3 SCVs. Definitely outplaying SOC a little bit in the early parts of that Citadel game. Didn't account for the immediate counterattack of SOC, though. So Stork threw away the lead that was gained in that game, and the lead that was gained in this series is now gone as well. It's basically a best of 3 from this point forward. Whoever wins 2 more games is going to take home that 500, and the bragging rights along with it. SOC not throwing down his gas here on Apocalypse. We'll switch things up and go for a gasless fast expand. Stork gonna be throwing down his cybernetics core. It's looking like a Dragoon expand with the Probe Scout. Looks like both players actually sending in the wrong direction. Their scouts, they might meet in the middle. That's a possibility. In fact, SOC might see Stork's probe. No, okay, Stork actually turns, heads over towards the bottom right. So he's going to get the benefit of an earlier scout. He sees the gasless fast expand timing on this CC. Dives all the way in. Is he going to steal the gas? Can't do it just yet. Doesn't have the money. And I'm not sure if he would go for that anyway. Could be quite annoying for SOC to lose control of that gas, but he does manage to get that down. Now with the Zealot making its way forward, will Stork be able to do the magic? Oh, this is big. Stork building a pylon over here. He might be going for a Robo. We could end up seeing him try to bust in with an early Reaver, going after this first Marine. Gonna go after the STV now. No. Kind of pulling back as the bunker finishes up. Gonna make a run into the main base. You can see SOC gets in here. He sees the main, but that third pylon is missing. Alarm bells should be ringing for SOC. He's not building any more Marines right now, but he should absolutely send something out. He does send something. He scouts it. He sees the Robo here at the front. That's huge. SOC should pull SCVs and build a bunker over there. Build a bunker and Marine push that. Zealot here is about to get cleaned up as the fourth Marine pops out. Almost no HP left on this. Oh my god, it took 2 more hits? Are you kidding me? That thing had like 5 HP. How is that even possible? Finally, some Dragoons make their way forward. The Zealot dies there in the main. SOC was not able to move forward and put a bunker down next to this Robo. So, unfortunately for him, this is still a thing. At least he knows about it, though. He should be able to prepare a response. This attack is scariest when it is completely unknown. when you don't see it coming. But now that he sees it coming, it's a lot less scary. It's still not easy to hold by any means, but he stands a much better chance of holding it now. Another gateway up here at the front. This is so all in by Stork. He's going to start building Dragoons here at the front as well. Really start to ramp up the pressure. The Dragoon number is going to be pretty high. When the first tank pops out, we might see this this bunker go down. Here's that first tank. I'm going to stay here and keep fighting the bunker. Getting in range here once again. Going to try and dive for the tank. Not able to get it. Needs to get back in range once again of this bunker as soon as possible. That Reaver is about to pop. A Wraith is on the way. A Wraith is on the way, which is very interesting. Reaver going to come up here. Kind of take a pot shot at the bunker. Go for the SCVs on the bunker. Can he get them? He does get the SCVs on the bunker. Now going to be able to take a shot at the Marines. Dragoons can push forward, but a secondary bunker. Very smart stuff here from SOC. This guy's so intelligent, the way he plays Terran. This second bunker is actually huge. Oh gosh, and the Reaver shot goes off on one Marine. One Marine only. The tank gets an extra hit as well. Reaver's still trying to push forward here. Stork still has a lot of Dragoons at this front. He starts his own Nexus, so there is a possibility if he kills a bunch more SCVs, maybe he can still transition this. 2 Reavers now. Is he finally going to make a shuttle? Looks like he's backing away. Potential to drop into the main, but these 2 Wraiths are insanely good. SOC might shut this down completely. That double Reaver potentially flying into the main might get absolutely slammed. You probably lose some buildings if you're clearing with Wraiths, but as long as he brings the tanks down as well and doesn't allow them to get shot, pulls all the SCVs, once the shuttle is dead, the Wraiths can easily clear out the Reavers, potentially for free. SOC setting up his defenses back at home. He's got the worker lead. There's also the small fact of this robo being across the map, which is a little bit inconvenient, to say the least. He put an add-on on that control tower there for the starport. Did he go for cloak upgrade? Cloak upgrade would be huge too. Just fly right in and just snipe down the shuttle. Pretty strong. Sending in the Wraith now. 2 Dragoons here to cover this. Just need to be careful. Sees that Stork is now mining here in the natural. We'll get over here and possibly scout the 3rd as well. We're quite behind the curve here overall for Stork. He went very all in with that attack. I personally don't think he got enough damage done, but we'll see if Stork can still maneuver this into a victory. It's going to be a long road. A dodge there. Trying to send the Zealot into bait. Zealot, great tool for baiting out those tank shots, but SOC does get the target fire on the Reavers, so Reavers are kind of low. Plus the shuttle's taking some damage. And so we're pretty close now to SOC moving forward towards this robo and actually picking it off. He brought back the Wraiths. And now with 2 Wraiths here, it's very hard to engage with this shuttle. Shuttle will go down incredibly quickly, so he's got to be very careful with how he leverages this. Still no 3rd base here for Stork. The 3rd base is getting quite late. The shuttle is going to come forward now. Dragoons coming up as well. Going for some shots here. Target fire? No. No targets on that. A pair of Reavers, at least for the time being. Vultures trying to sneak out. Will get killed. Bleats around here from Stork, but SOC has the positioning It's going to be very difficult for him to dive in on top of. 5 tanks here in the natural with a couple of mines as well. Just 1 Zealot and a bunch of Dragoons with 2 Reavers. Probably not going to take the best trade against that. And so Stork just going to fall back on a 3rd base for the time being. Imagine SOC will be taking his own 3rd in a moment. At least building that CC in the main. Getting prepared for that. The Reavers are here at the front looking for some damage. But need to be very careful. Wary of the range of those tanks. Doesn't have a... Oh, he does have an observer there on the right-hand side. So he kind of sees everything. Can pretty easily judge the range of that now. Where are those Wraiths? I actually hear them. I think they're gunning down a... observer. Yeah, there it is. Killing an observer. He's got a science vessel with 2 Wraiths. That is a observer hit squad. If I've ever seen one. Perfect for clearing out that vision. But as he moves forward, Stork, he's thinking about doing an attack here. Can he actually get the full surround and start to kill some of these tanks? Dropping the Reavers now after the 2nd volley of tank fire. But as he pushes forward, the Vultures clear out, but tanks still do remain in large number. And now Vultures out on the map as well. This has really not gone to plan here for Stork. He had the containment, but he's kind of thrown it away. Now there's opportunities for SOC to get across the map and actually start to deal some damage. Oh gosh, he hops over the wall as well. Ooh, it's really bad now, guys. SOC is going to get so many kills over here on these probes. We'll bring back the Reavers to deal with this, but it's almost too much damage at this point. Stork is down in workers, and a 3rd base starts for SOC. He is going to have a really hard road to recovery. SOC is just lining him up in his sights now. Checking out the main base. Look at this. Double Citadel. You can see Stork is under a lot of pressure. Knowing the bad position that he's in and that he's kind of been embarrassed by SOC's responses, right? SOC got a scout across the map. He saw what Stork had, and he immediately knew that Stork was up to something cheesy. He responded to the cheese. He handled it perfectly well. Again, that 2nd bunker from SOC, so clutch. Knowing that Stork would inevitably break the 1st. He's handled himself very well. He's stayed composed, whereas Stork is having a hard time. He's losing probes. He's going to get hit by this drop now as well. This is some just fantastic decision-making from SOC. He knows that Stork is pushed absolutely to the limit, that he's struggling to put together an army that can defeat his push. And so going for this drop right now is just so dirty. Forces Stork all the way back into his main to clear this all out, and he loses a lot as well. Oh god, he's gonna shut down the 3rd base. Dude, this is brutal. Stork is absolutely getting cleared in this game. Reaver's a very good tool for dealing with that, but you can see he doesn't have shuttle speed. And so he can't quite keep up with all the drops that are going on. SOC is just all over him, and he's got a full 20 supply advantage. And 12 worker lead as well. Crazy. What SOC has done by just holding that initial attack properly, handling it super well, and putting these drops out when he knows that Stork is under pressure. Making some great decisions this game, honestly. Oh gosh, picking up those Templar. Pretty good hot pickups there from Stork. He will save a lot of these very important Templar. There's really no way that he can combat this army of sSak any longer without some sort of splash damage. He needs that splash damage. And really, I don't know if there's a possibility Stork can clear this. Well, we'll have to watch for this engagement. That's a lot of stacked tanks. This is maybe the potential. This is the possibility here for Stork. Can he actually clear this? Huge storm in the middle of all of these tanks. Tanks going down in massive number, but there's not enough meat to the army to follow up that push, to follow up that attack. He will lose everything. Archon gonna be made here. He just doesn't have the bulk. Look at his supply just drop. sSak gave him the perfect opportunity to possibly come back in this game, but it's still not enough. The storms are gonna go down on a lot of these tanks, but Stork is still forced to tap. GG. sSak takes game number 5, and he takes the lead in this series. And here we are, Stork versus sSak, with his life on the line. Stork spawning here in the bottom right. His life in this series, not his life in real life, guys, of course. Although sometimes it can feel like that when you're playing a game of Broodwar. I know my heart rate goes through the roof when I'm close to a victory or a loss in an intense game of Broodwar. My body can't tell the difference. Fight or flight mode fully activated. So hard to control that response. Just calm down and think in the heat of the moment. These two guys showing a great propensity for that, able to keep their cool. Stork maybe not as much, though. Saw that second Citadel in the main in that last game. In a situation where you're already a little bit behind after an attack, initial attack, kind of all-in attack, didn't end up working. Making mistakes like that, really not a great situation. Gonna open up with Nexus first this time. And sSak unlikely to be able to break him here on Retro. Excuse me, guys. Cross map situation is going to favor Stork pretty heavily. So we may end up going into Game 7 just based off of this opener. I think Stork's going to end up with a pretty good advantage. I'm not going to call it just yet, but cross map Nexus first. We all know how hard that can be. With Stork going for just single gateway into gas, he's once again getting as greedy as possible while scouting cross map to find his opponent first. Dude, how many things can go right for Stork in the early game? It's crazy. Gets in there, sees no CC. Oh, and his probe gets away on 1 HP. Oh my gosh. Everyone's felt this pain. Everything going right for the Protoss players so far. sSak is going to cancel a Vulture and actually build an add-on. What's this add-on going to be for? Looks like he may end up starting a CC a little bit quicker in that case. Add-on doesn't cost very much. Wow. Actually, has 500 minerals and he starts his CC. Some cracks are showing here for sSak. He's gonna get in and scout now. He sees the Nexus first. I'm sure he's not too happy about it, but he's gonna have to play from a bit of a deficit. No two ways about it. Gonna try and keep this SCV alive as long as possible. He knows what the follow-up is likely to be, but just keeping this in here. Keeping the Protoss player busy. Wow. Excuse me, guys. I'm losing my voice here a little bit. After that the second week of ASL, I had a bit of a cold. And I've just kind of recovered from it now. As we get back here into SDS. But I apologize if you guys hear me clearing my throat. I got a mute button here and I should be able to use it. Ooh, Vulture slips by into the main. Gonna take a little bit of damage, but you need to do a lot to make up this deficit. You can see he's already gonna get 2 probes. Great pull there from Stork. Gonna prevent any more damage. Come on. Oh, he actually gets 1 more probe. That's so funny. That one Dragoon lagging a bit behind. Not able to get into position in time. There it is, Command Center. 3rd Command Center. This is a play I talk about a lot. So I'm so glad we get to see it here. This is the sharp style of dealing with Nexus first. You just build a huge amount of vultures. You get mines really nice and early. And you start laying them all around your Protoss opponent. The fact is that with the Nexus first, you're not going to have a really quick observer. In fact, he's gone directly to Reaver here, which is quite interesting. A Reaver is going to be made, and Stork's going to, oh my gosh, lose his first couple of Dragoons walking through mines. That's a little bit wild. You can see the Dragoons are heading directly up towards that 3rd base. I think actually Stork might know. He might suspect this is what SOC is going for. And as soon as he gets up here and sees this, oh gosh, Stork. The sacrifice on those first couple of Dragoons was painful, but this is so much pain now that SOC is going to have to deal with. He can dive that tank, no problem. Yeah, just needs a couple more hits on that. That dies. Now he can kill the Marines, and as long as he keeps the SAVs from surrounding, he's going to deal so much damage. All right, running down the ramp here. Looks like these vultures may end up killing this. And a tank does come around, but now Stork can just rally across the map, all of his Dragoons, and get this Reaver over here. And I don't think there's a way for SOC to hold. The purpose of this build is you got to get mines around the opponent's base everywhere. And I think SOC got a little too greedy diving in with one of the first vultures, right? He went in there. He could have had 3 more mines to help prevent Dragoons from coming out. Ooh, that was a really great land there on the Dragoon, or on the bunker barracks. Oh my gosh. I'm tripping all over myself, guys. Reaver is getting so much damage, and yeah, I think this game is over. Throwing away that initial vulture rather than having the mines out kind of defeats the purpose of the build, and this is why we call it the sharp build and not the SOC build, or why I call it the sharp build, not the SOC build. I'm not sure if anyone else calls it that, but sharp is the one I saw do it the first, and I saw him do it the best, honestly. It was kind of the pioneer of the build. He really seems to understand it better than anybody else, including SOC. And now going to get this Dragoon on top of this. You cannot out-repair with just 2 SCVs this Dragoon. It will eventually kill. And so that Dragoon gets the kill on the tank, and things have just gone too far awry. Stork has still, you know, Nexus first. He's still going to have the powerhouse of the Nexus first. Plus, he's got this Reaver over here dealing the damage. So he will be able to rally this to a victory. And there it is. GG. SOC throws his hands up in the air. Nothing he can do if Stork just runs across the map through the mines and breaks in. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that, or you're not. This is how the build works. Is you're supposed to set up mines everywhere, and then Stork has, or the Protoss player has a very late observer, and so they can't really move out. They can't really push out, and that's why you're able to get that 3rd base online so quickly. You can defend everything. And you just kind of want to slow down his third as much as possible. You end up with a much later natural, but on par third base. Like, your third base is at the same time as the Protoss, and that actually evens out the Nexus first completely. So you can see what he was trying to do there, but got a little greedy, throwing away one of the first vultures, and without those 3 extra mines, wasn't able to prevent Dragoons from just running across the map. Also, the Reaver play was very good. You know, skipping over Observer and going directly into Reaver. Pretty nasty. Good stuff from Stork overall, honestly. And now, another Game 7 series. Another 7-game series. These duels are nicely matched. Yeah, totally, man. We've had some really good matchups so far. We've had a couple of duds. But for example, that Best versus Royal series, 4-0 the first time, and then went all the way to Game 7 the second time. Pretty crazy. Stork sending out an insanely fast probe here. That's crazy. What is he going to do with this? Is this double gateway to finish off our best of 7 here on Blitz Y? Are you insane? Is this Mini? Mini just took over the body of a Stork. Is just warged into the husk of the player we once called Stork. Mini is taking control, guys, and he's going to put the pressure on super early to SOC. Is this going to be a double gateway? No, no double gate. Just a single gateway. This is a very quick probe, of course. You expect it on this map. The gas steal is a very normal way to play versus Terran on this map. Is he going to see it? Oh, he sees it. Oh my god. Oh, he saw it. That is so huge. If Stork was 1 hex to the left, he wouldn't have seen that gateway. Oh my goodness. Double barracks. You know Stork is salty about it. He knows that he's been spotted. Now, one thing he could do is build a forge back at home and get a Nexus up. And then the double barracks really doesn't do much. Puts a couple hits on that SCV. Now he could chase that SCV with the probe. Might end up doing that. But the SimCity back at home is so good. It's so good here. Are you going to start the forge? SCV going across the map to see what the follow-up is. He canceled the... I think he canceled the gas after he saw the barracks. So that's some good heads-up decision-making from Stork. He knows all the minerals are going to be put into Marines and then, of course, supply depots, because you're just pumping out so many more units than you usually would at this point. You have to spend extra money on supply depots. So the Marines are going to be out in high numbers here shortly. Stork gonna start his Nexus. These Zealots will run forward, but I think a cannon going to be started here in just a moment. I didn't see the forge, but I imagine no forge. Wait, no way Stork just gets run over by this, right? I really expected him to make a forge here. Bring the Zealots in now. That is quite a few Marines, but if you don't split them properly, Zealots will absolutely wreck you. Oh my goodness, wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. So many Marines end up going down. SOC just getting a little bit too complacent here. Boy, he thought that he could really push down and fight the Zealots at this point, but his SCVs are all over the place. SOC losing his cool. And Stork, he's chilling right now. He is going to surround these Zealots, and losing the Zealots is pretty annoying for Stork, but as long as Stork has a forge back at home. He should be okay. I really do hope he's got that forge. I imagine, like, the optimal play, of course, would be to go for directly into Cybernetics Core, but there's always the possibility that the Marine push can hurt you. Wow, he's killing so many Marines, though. He doesn't even need the forge. That's crazy how many Marines he killed. Dude, SOC just not quite handling that correctly. And yes, it was a forge. There's the cannon. Boom. That cannon shuts down everything. Oh my gosh, he makes an academy. SOC, why are you making an academy? Don't have any Marines. What are we doing? I think Stork's got this, guys. A second cannon? Dude, Stork is so smart. How does he know? Oh. What? Barracks? Flying? Flying barracks? Is he gonna fly into his main? Oh, please. Tell me SOC is gonna fly these barracks into the main of Stork and start building Marines. That'd be so funny. What a way to finish a series, guys. He sees the cannon here at the front. And he's just flying across the map. Oh my god. If he actually makes this work, it would be so funny. He's waiting, I think, to start stim upgrade until he has the barracks in the main, because there might be a pylon there. And if the pylon spots it, then it's completely worthless. So, you know, send the barracks in. If they land, one thing you can also do is make fire bats. You make fire bats and just go kill the probes. But if you can build a bunch of Marines and medics, then it's even better. He gets the scout, he gets the scan. Now he knows that there's an academy early. Stork, gotta be a little suspicious. Why do you have an academy and a scanner already? It's a little bit sus. Here comes those barracks. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. What a wild game we're seeing here, guys. Game number 7 does not disappoint. And so Stork, I mean, he's got a good advantage, but will this do an enormous amount of damage? It's such a big... Yeah, fire bats. He's making fire bats. Is he going to make stim as well? Make like 4 fire bats and then get stim. Send 2 to the ramp and 2 inside the mineral line. And then the probes don't have anywhere to run to. Did he get stim? We're not getting a shot of the academy, unfortunately, so we don't know. This is even stronger. Yeah, there it is, stim. This is even stronger if you start like attacking with the tanks or something like that right as this happens. So he's gonna wait for 3. Okay, 3 is all he's gonna go for. Here's a probe. Oh my god, the probe scouts this? No way. The probe's gonna scout this right at the most important moment, right as the fire bats come in. Oh wow. Now it does no damage. That's so crazy. Dude. How did Stork figure out that something like this is coming? It is unbelievable. Now that fire bat's gonna go down as well. Well, no harm in trying. Costs a little bit of money, but not much. Goes away a little bit of minerals and gas to possibly have a chance of killing all of Stork's probes, so I would say it's pretty worth. Even though it didn't get the damage done, there was the potential. And so SOC is going to bail out now, use these for a little bit of scouting information. He only needs to keep 1 alive so he can still build factories. He's going to follow up with a 4 factory push. And Stork is, he is the smartest guy. Come on, look at this guy. He starts his nexus over at top left. I've talked about this a lot on Blitz Y, and I don't understand it, why so many Protoss players want to take their high ground base. That up there on the catwalk does not make sense to me. Over and over again, we keep seeing it. It's just so pushable. The Stork's going to take this base, which is really far away, and he's going to catch the tanks coming in. This is perfect. He's going to catch like 2-3 tanks here and going to shut down this attack so hard. Oh, beautifully done. Beautifully done. 2 tanks die already. Almost gets that 3rd tank, but the repair, the clutch repair, I think just barely saved that. SOC, keeping that 1 tank alive, really, really important. But I don't think he's going to be able to push. Here's the Stargate transition going up into a couple of Stargates, and that upgrade is on the way as well. Setting up some mines behind enemy lines here. SOC. It will be able to prevent reinforcements from easily getting up to the top left, but this push is shut down. There's no way he's getting this push going. And nice target fire there on the 1 Dragoon, but as the rest of the Dragoons come up, these tanks are doomed. 2 tanks gonna go down here, I think. Oh my god, that 1 tank so low. Baits in the Dragoons. He loses 3 for 1. But it's not the worst thing in the world. He already got a couple of tanks there, so killing off 1 more was a little bit greedy there from Stork, but we'll forgive him. He's 71 probes already, guys. Stork has 70 probes. He's got like a full 50% more probes than his opponent. It's crazy. Looks like this attack gonna come along the catwalk, but this is not... Oh gosh, this is so many Dragoons, guys. Only 3 tanks up, 4 tanks up here on the high ground. This Reaver can clear a lot of the vultures. And see, he would be in range of actually hitting the Nexus now if Stork had taken this high ground. But since he took the base down at the... or over at the top left, the position is actually very good. He can... Oh, wow. 3 Dragoons go down there. Stork could actually... he could throw this still. It's not a unlosable situation. He's got 1,400 minerals in the bank. What is happening right now? 1,600, 1,700. He's got so many probes, man. He's got so much income. He's honestly kind of messing this up. I'm going to drop another Zealot here. That does go down. Reaver going to be pulled back now. And SOC is setting up a really nice position here on the high ground. He needs to execute before those carriers come online, and big rallies of Zealots, and Zealot speed gonna come up here pretty soon too. Oh, he catches the SCVs coming up. That's interesting. Now see, if the SCVs get caught, he can't make turrets. Oh god, the shuttle though. Shuttle here in the main. He does lose the shuttle. Can he get these 2 tanks? Get the tanks, get the tanks. 2 more shots. 2 more shots. Oh, he loses that. Not able to get those shots off. SOC pushing in towards this natural. Stork hitting from behind. He's actually stopped the rallies from coming forward. As long as he gets some carriers out here, I think he can be okay. There's not a lot of anti-air. He's starting to build some turrets. Baiting in a few of these mines. Looks like he might have lost that shuttle. No, the shuttle lives. Dragoons here at the rear. Zealots coming down. They do not have speed. Oh my god, it's painful. Okay, finally speed comes up. There's a big mine connection. He will be able to clear this. It looks like anyway. Wait. Some reinforcements coming up from behind this. SOC actually clears out everything. He manages to hold on to this position. Stork bringing in some more forces. Another Reaver from behind as well. It's getting very close. He's actually going to break it now. SOC has to retreat, but he's lowered that probe count overall. And he's forced him down to just 2 bases. So 2 base versus 2 base. It's still a very playable position here from SOC. Reaver comes forward. Going to target down that shuttle. Gets the Reaver as well. Jumping on top of the tanks now. Not much he can do against that. Just going to unsiege. He manages to keep 1 tank alive anyway. Carriers are now out, though. Oh, he's got to kill his own Citadel, unfortunately. A little bit of sloppiness from Stork, but a high-pressure situation here for sure. Army making its way over towards this top left. There's 3 tanks here, just the 3. It's going to be pretty easy to break with ground units. The carriers can come up as well. Got to build some buildings here and actually prevent the vultures from running by and killing all the probes. Really does need to keep these probes alive. Oh my god, the Dragoons in the rally point not paying attention. He absolutely could have stopped that from ever happening. Now the vultures running by here. I believe they're in on top of these. Oh gosh, on top of these probes. The probes are going down. 44 probes are left. So many of them falling. The carriers could easily shut this down, but they're not in position. Where are the carriers going right now? They're actually heading back up to the main base to clear this one vulture. Oh my gosh, I think Stork is falling apart, guys. I think it's happened. He's at 34 probes. SOOP does not have a third, but he's taking one in the bottom left, and he's cleared this third of Stork. Stork going across the map now. He's got to get some counterattack damage done. He has to get in here and deal some sort of damage to SOOP, or he's going to absolutely fall apart. Oh my goodness, he turns around. He is on one base, long distance mining his natural. He does have +2, which is a big deal. That +2 is going to make a huge difference. I can't believe what he did with these carriers, though. How did he end up sending these carriers back home? There's only 4 Goliaths in top left. He could have killed all those tanks and Goliaths and potentially saved the Nexus, but he sent them back home and really didn't do anything with them. He didn't even kill the vulture with the carriers. That was done by some Dragoons. So I'm really flabbergasted at the response here from Stork. He is completely falling apart in this game. Look at him just wandering around in the middle with the carriers. He's not doing anything with these super important units. He will catch this army returning back home, but he could have killed this with carriers basically for free. Just didn't decide to do it. Now he's here in the middle of the map with these carriers. He's trying to get a third base online, but 32 probes. Can he keep up to the macro of SOOP? Engaging straight up Dragoon with Goliath. Not going to go as well for SOOP. He's also getting hit with the carriers on the tanks. Oh my god. Is SOOP really going to throw this back straight into the hands of Stork? Are you kidding me? What is this? Oh my goodness. Absolute chaos in game number 7, guys. Both players really struggling with their mental state, it seems, and just keeping their head on straight is a little bit too much to ask with all the craziness that's happened. Stork now, though, with 6 carriers, that is pretty hard to stop. He just killed a lot of tanks, and he took an amazing trade with Dragoon versus Goliath. He's going to come across the map now and start to put the pressure onto the main. Does SOOP have what it takes to hold this off? He's going to do some sort of weird counterattack with 1 tank and a bunch of Goliaths. Easy hold with this Reaver and a bunch of Dragoons here in the natural, but he brings back the whole carriers, the whole carrier force. Now he can really shut this down. Pulling back those carriers now. He's trying to target fire onto one of the carriers. He might actually get the kill. Yeah, that carrier is probably going to die. It does die, and some probes are going to go down as well. Kind of bad micro there from Stork to just not pull back that carrier, but you know, losing 1 carrier to 4 Goliaths is a little bit insane when you've got this many carriers. So no real excuse for Stork there, but again, he is completely on tilt. Loses down to 23 probes. Remember, guys, he was at 72 probes earlier. This man has lost an insane number of probes this game, but 50 probes have gone down. And now SOOP with his third online and operational. He's building starports. We're going to see a Wraith transition possibly. Unless he doesn't have even a science facility. Maybe that's just for +2. I'm not sure. But I imagine that's actually going to be for Wraith and Cloak. Trying to hide starports down in the bottom left-hand corner. Some Dragoons are going to make their way over towards that bottom left, but they're going to be met by Goliaths. Pretty funny to see just straight up Goliaths fighting a bunch of Dragoons, but there it is. Counterattack going across the map for SOOP. He's just going to target down the eBay right now. Reaver here on high ground is worth its weight in gold. This thing is going to do so much damage. It will get targeted, but that did a lot of splash damage. There's only 1 tank here. The Dragoons should be able to hold their own. The tank does siege up, and he has to back off for now. Carriers are on their way back, though, and this is such a small force. Easily should be clean, but how many more probes are going to go down here? How many more probes will be lost? He's down to 27, guys. Targeting the probes is insanely good value. 24 probes. This will be cleared. Stork still with a lot of carriers, though. There's the Wraiths. Yes, Wraith transition is on the way. SOC going to gamble everything on this Wraith transition. Some Vultures are going to make their way up onto the high ground. Hopefully there's a Reeve or maybe some Dragoons to actually defend that, because he could end up losing some of the last, oh gosh, the last probes that he has. Mining are actually going down right now. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Goliath, he's on top of the production. He's got 3 observers with this army, and he's going to start to target down a bunch of these CCs. He can get on top of this CC. That's going to die. There's hardly any Wraiths, and he sees it. Oh, he sees it. Stork sees everything. Stork can still win this. I think he will. SOC just not building enough Goliaths and taking too many bad trades with the Goliaths overall, and he will lose this game. No way. Stork takes this one home. Absolutely ridiculous final game. We had some great games this series, guys, but this one was just so wacky. What in the heck was that? Stork takes this one home. Oh my goodness. $500 for the Dino Toss. I don't even know what to say about that one, guys. Let's go through what we had there. We had a proxy gateway into 2 barracks. 2 barracks counter from SOC. Floats into Stork's main. Builds fire bats. And then we had a follow-up push that got stuffed while Stork transitioned into carriers. And then Stork completely fell apart, lost his 3rd and all of his probes. What a wacky, wacky game. Thank you so much for the 50 gems, man. We don't have our gem scroll up just yet. We're waiting on SOOP right now, but I really do appreciate it. Brainiac189, welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the SOOP stream. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and then SOC, after killing almost every probe of Stork, fought the carriers with the tanks and the Dragoons with the Goliaths. Absolutely crazy. Completely threw this back. Now, guys, before you go, our next SOOP Duel stream is going to be on Friday, the 11th at 10 a.m. Oh, sorry, at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. for me, of course. I'm here in Japan. And then it'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Vegeta Pride, thank you so much for the 100. We really do appreciate it. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we're going to go to ASL, which will also be live casted by myself and Shun here on SCTVEN. So make sure to follow the SOOP stream, guys. ASL round of 16. That'll be on the 14th at 7 p.m. Korean Standard Time. And then the 15th, another ASL cast. That'll be Group B. And then we'll be back to a regular schedule for the SDS. The SOOP Duel series will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 a.m. Any ideas who's playing in the next SOOP Duel series? Unfortunately, I don't know, guys. We are a little bit in the dark with this series right now. But assuming the support continues to roll in and we can grow this stream. In fact, we've got 27 people in here right now. That's awesome. We were only able to get 20 in the last stream. So assuming we can get this stream up in viewers, I think we're going to get more and more access, more and more information about the series, but it's on ice right now. We're having a hard time. We're not even sure exactly what the what SOOP wants from us and you know what numbers they're looking for. They just want more viewers right now. That's the only information we have, so that's what we're going to try to do. We need to be undeniable, guys. We need to be clearly worth supporting. And I'll be able to answer more and more of your questions as time goes on. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Full transparency for me, guys. Everything I'm allowed to talk about, I will talk about. And I will let you guys know as soon as I know what the next SOOP Duel series is going to be. I'm going to be posting that on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining. We went to the full best of 7. We don't need a anti-spoiler or anything, but if you guys want to talk to me a little bit, if you want to ask some questions, excuse me, I'll stick around for a little bit longer. So, Brainiac, to answer your question, do they want a viewership number or a gem donation number or both? So what they said initially is they want a gems donation number. And then they said that they would like to have more viewers. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with them. It's not even like they gave a viewer number. They just said would be nice to have more viewers. So, and all of this is secondhand information as well, guys. Working through a proxy, working with Starcast TV. And so we're hoping for more information soon. It's hard to meet a goal that you don't know what your goal is. It's very difficult. You guys did amazing helping us to meet the previous gems goal, right? They gave us that 3,000 gems goal. They said, see if you can get these gems coming in. And you guys did awesome. Crushed it. I think we got over 4,000 for the last gems goal, which is absolute. It blew our goal away. And it really should show SOOP that we've got a lot of dedicated fans here. Viewership on YouTube was fantastic as well. We had quite a few of the videos go, you know, above the 10,000 views mark. And so viewership was looking great. But they mentioned after taking that break at the beginning of ASL, they mentioned that they would like to see more viewers. So that's the only information we have. Again, I'm going to be as transparent as possible with you guys with whatever I'm allowed to talk about. I will let you guys know. And we can do our best to make sure that this series continues. I think the chat aspect that King brought up is really good. It's a big benefit to watching live versus on YouTube. We like interacting with you. Oh, it's very nice. King Dragoon. Definitely bring up the SOOP chat aspect when you stream on YouTube. This is a bonus. It'll draw more stream of your viewers in. Yeah, I kind of cut it out for YouTube. Just skip right to the games. But I think it's a nice little bonus for those of you who join in. You get come here and chat and also meet some people who are really into Broodwar, right? I know that throughout my whole life, I've been very kind of isolated as one of the only ones of my friends who actually played Broodwar, who enjoyed Broodwar. So, you know, going to high school and university, I'd be sitting there, you know, watching GOM TV or whatever on my iPod Touch. And everyone's looking at me like, what the hell are you watching? Why are you still watching that? Even, you know, back in 2009, early 2010s, people were giving me the side eye, even my friends. But when you get in here and join these chats and you know, join some of the Discord channels out there, you get to meet people who are super into Broodwar as well. I kind of get to break that isolation. I know I'm really excited to meet with fans. Anyone who comes to Japan is welcome to reach out and text me. Come hang out in Kyoto. And pretty much everybody I've met has been really, really cool and fun. Even some streamers. I think Herbmon is going to come out to Japan soon. And he said he's going to come by and visit me. Come stay at my place. So that should be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do a cast together in person. But meeting people in Broodwar, people who enjoy the same thing as you do, it's a different experience, and I think it's a very valuable experience. It's a lot of fun. King Dragon got a props. Man, you're the best caster in terms of knowledge, but also the mood. Tone of the cast is just right. Thank you so much, dude. I don't think I'm the best in terms of knowledge, but I've watched so many games. I've watched so many games now. I definitely... I don't play at the highest level. I'm like 1900, 1950. Just right on the edge of A rank, so I definitely wouldn't give myself a most knowledgeable caster award, but I've seen a lot of games. And so I have a really good feeling of how these players are thinking, what they're thinking about, where they're trying to go with the games, their strategy. I just can't execute. I can't execute myself, and I don't have the durability, the dexterity to keep up. I'm like 190-ish APM, and I try to play as much as I can, but my gosh, is it difficult, frustrating. So, you know, I'm going to keep trying to work on it. I need to get somebody to do a little coaching for me, actually. I think that would be really valuable. And I can, you know, continue to increase my knowledge, because I think you guys really deserve a good and knowledgeable caster, as well as someone who has the mood and tone. I think I do hit those notes pretty well. Some of us lost the skill to play. We age, but we sure watch. I think that's a lot of people out there, Marcel. Thank you for joining the chat, man. Yeah, a lot of us are still dedicated to this game. We love this game. But a lot of you guys out there, I'm sure, have kids and families and jobs, work, busy stuff to do. Just know that this sport is going to be there for you as you age and grow, and as you get old. Still going to be around for you guys to watch for many, many years to come. It's crazy what's happening in StarCraft right now, with StarCraft 2 kind of falling by the wayside. I don't know if you guys heard, but ESL has decided to shut down support for StarCraft 2. They're not going to be doing the tour anymore for StarCraft 2. They kind of took the mantle after Blizzard kind of gave up. They decided that they were just going to abandon StarCraft 2, which is pretty sad. However, there is still going to be the World Cyber Games or whatever in Riyadh for the StarCraft 2. So it's not that all the tournaments are going to shut down, but the very, very biggest one in the world, the one where they were working with the balance team as well. I think part of their budget went to balance. That's been completely gutted. It's gone. And so StarCraft 2 is starting to fall off really seriously. I predicted this after Blizzard kind of let go of their support for StarCraft 2. But it's different. It's different here in Broodwar. There's no reliance on the creators. There's no reliance on Blizzard. And there never has been. This game is supported by you guys, and it's continued in the legacy by SOOP. And guys, supporting here with gems is one of the best ways to support my channel, as well as StarCraft as a whole. You guys know that whenever you support on YouTube or Twitch or anywhere, the platform is going to take some platform fees. They're going to take a percentage, in some cases as much as 50%. And so a lot of your money is going to these big corporations that have nothing to do with StarCraft. But if you support on SOOP, a percentage of your donation will go to the company that is responsible for putting on all these tournaments, for funding the tournaments, for organizing the tournaments, for creating the ASL, and for continuing that legacy. And so your donation, 100% of it goes to Broodwar, right? Portion of it goes to me as the caster, and a portion of it goes to the company SOOP. So just keep that in mind, guys, as you decide how to support. If you do choose to support this beautiful game, you can also become a Patreon supporter if that works better for you. Shout out to all the Patreon supporters out there. Shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody who came in live. If you're out there on YouTube and you're still watching here, I guess you like the sound of my voice, so you definitely should come out and join the SOOP platform, the SOOP stream, and you can send me a message. You can talk to me. I will answer you guys in between games and, of course, after the games as well. But that's it for today, guys. Remember, April 11th, Friday, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST. We don't have the names of the players who are going to be playing, but we're very excited for the next SOOP Duel series. It's been such a great series so far. So many long, drawn-out, awesome series. These guys are really playing their hearts out, and we love to watch it. We love to see it. So until then, guys, you have a wonderful night. I'll see you next time.